Good morning, my name is Chris Fox, and today we are covering 5 ways to make readers hate your antagonists. And this is one of your goals, hopefully, in the course of your novel. You want to find a way to make your reader dislike some of your characters. They need to feel negative emotions. So we want them to feel, but we want them to feel, that they really dislike this person. Well, how do you accomplish that? And today we're presenting 5 quick tools to do that. So the first one is Smugness. And the character who I think best exemplifies this is Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. So she is one of the most hated villains in fiction. And part of the reason why I think is that so many of us know someone like her who in their own lives is following the rules, but through the rules, she's found a way to persecute the people around her. So Dolores Umbridge cares less about the rules and more about order and uses it sort of as a bludgeon to the kids around her. And it's clear if you look at Dolores Umbridge that she doesn't like kids. She's the type of person who should not be in that position and really isn't or shouldn't be anywhere near children because she hates them and hates the fact that they're disorderly, but is in a position where she has to interact with them. And so instead she's needlessly cruel. And throughout it all, she's just smug and righteous, and that drives us nuts. So if you want a character to be hated by your audience, use those things. Try to think of somebody that you've met in your real life, or even, Dolores Umbridge as a character. Think about the mannerisms. Think about how through the simple adherence to rules, like, well, I'm the hall monitor and you're not supposed to be out of the hall, think about how you can utilize that type of character and have them use their authority like a weapon. And very much get your characters to be victimized by this. So they're gonna experience some misfortune as a result of that character, righteously utilizing their authority. The next one is unpunished crimes. So if we see somebody that is kind of a villain, but maybe not too bad, and they keep getting away with stuff, so they're doing bad things and not getting punished, that really bothers people. So we may not be able to verbalize this, but for a lot of people, the longer and greater these injustices become, the more frustrating it gets. From my own personal life, if I think to traffic, for example, if somebody is speeding recklessly through traffic on a regular basis, you're like, boy, I wish there was a cop there that could take that person down right now. Like, you want them to be punished because what they're doing is inconsiderate to us and to the system as a whole and can hurt the people around them. So unpunished crimes. Have some characters that you want to be perceived as antagonists, have them get away with stuff. And maybe your protagonist knows about it, and your protagonist doesn't necessarily want to be a tattletale or be involved in outing that antagonist, but just have them be aware that these crimes are being perpetrated. Number 3, unearned success or power. Someone who gets their power or success through no really effort on their part. So they're born rich. They're through luck or happenstance, they're given a position of power. Maybe they get the promotion, but they're worse at the job. So your protagonist is really, really good at what she does and is almost certain she's going to get the promotion. And then, her lazy coworker who does nothing gets the job. How does the audience feel about that lazy coworker, especially if that lazy coworker is now threatened and trying to get our protagonist fired? So unearned success can be a really, really easy lever to make an antagonist unlikable. Give them stuff that they don't deserve, and you'll automatically make the reader start disliking them. Needless cruelty. So if somebody is doing things to reach their goals that are needlessly cruel, in other words, they could probably get their goals in other ways, but they're willing to just be jerks when they're going about it and do whatever the most expedient thing is. Even though they probably could do it an easier way, they're still going to be mean and cruel, and they're going to delight in that. So they won't even go the smallest way out of their own way to do something nice for somebody. It's like, I could have accomplished that without screwing you over, but nah, it was slightly easier to screw you over massively, so I did that. People hate people who are willing to do that to others. And then finally, and this sort of dovetails for that last one, it's take the easy route despite minimal cost. And that really almost repeats the needless cruelty. So this doesn't have to be cruel. It can also be breaking rules. But what if your antagonist is really good in school and she chooses not to study for a test and instead to cheat? Now, she could have spent an hour of her time studying and aced that test with no problem, but it was easier for her to go out with her friends and party, and the next day she'll just cheat. So she's doing things wrong and doesn't need to. She could have gotten by another way, but she's taken the easy way out every time it's offered to her. That sort of thing drives people nuts, especially over time. And if you really want to upset them or get them to hate somebody, start stacking these things. Do 2 or 3 or 4 of these things with a character. So have them have unearned power, have them be cruel, have them take the easy way out, make them smug, maybe even make them a little righteous. So maybe they're breaking the rules and taking the easy way out while at the same time lecturing others about how they need to be more morally pure. You can really get people to hate, to actually loathe characters. And if you're unsure how to do this, start taking a look in fiction at people like Dolores Umbridge, like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Look at how terrible they are. You've heard me talk before in previous videos how we can use the power of context to really show how bad a character is. When you see how Cersei, one of the most evil characters in fiction, reacts to how monstrous her own son is, and you can see realization in her where she's like, whoa. My kid is messed up. When an evil person realizes that tells you that other character is incredibly evil. Well, lean on that. Use these things and use the reactions of the other antagonists and protagonists in your scenes to show that this is going on, and you'll have no problem making readers hate your antagonists. Anyway, I hope this is useful. I do need to get back to the writing. As you are watching this, I am in Chicago. Not at the recording, obviously, but while you're watching it, I'm in Chicago at the Sell More Book Show, about to give my talk on writing to market in 2020 and beyond. I will see you guys next week. Yeah, I guess that's it.